What does it take to bring down a billionaire mogul? Is it a scandal, a lawsuit, a scorned ex-lover with a vendetta, or just one very badly timed video that turns a legacy into a meme? For Sean Diddy Combs, the man who built an empire on rhythm, reinvention, and relentless self-promotion, it was Dr. Number 5, a secret video, not just any video, but the one that sent shockwaves through the entertainment world like a nuclear gossip bomb, the one that cracked the polished veneer of Diddy's empire with the precision of a sledgehammer to a stained glass window. This isn't just a tale of fame gone sideways, it's a cautionary hurricane about what happens when power meets paranoia, and the receipts start rolling in faster than a TMZ alert. Diddy didn't just trip, he plummeted, and when he fell, it wasn't into oblivion, it was into headlines, courtroom drama, social media witch hunts, and a PR storm that makes Hurricane Katrina look like a spring drizzle.
Well, Vicky, some tense moments unfolding in court today during Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial. Brianna Bongolan just wrapped up her second day of testimony, and the defense team accused her of lying about Combs' allegedly holding her over a 17th-story balcony back in 2016.
Let's take a hard, hilarious, and jaw-dropping look at the empire that was, the secret that broke it, and the downfall that everyone saw coming, but nobody could have scripted better. Buckle up, this is not a redemption arc. Long before the whispers, before the blurred footage and the stunned reactions, Sean Combs was royalty, not the kind that wore crowns, but the kind that bought them, tossed them to the side, and asked for something shinier. He was hip-hop's Midas. Everything he touched turned to gold, and Bad Boy Records wasn't just a label, it was a kingdom. And Diddy, he was the king, the architect, the visionary in fur coats and shiny suits. He danced next to Biggie, threw champagne at the Grammys, and turned his own name into a luxury brand. Sean Combs, Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, a man who rebranded himself more times than iOS updates. The mansions were massive, the parties were historic. Diddy's infamous white party made the Met Gala look like a PTA bake sale. He dated supermodels, made billion-dollar vodka deals, and once declared he wouldn't stop until he owned the world. At one point he had a better chance than most. He was friends with presidents, enemies with rivals, and untouchable in every sense of the word. And that was the problem. When you become untouchable, you stop watching your back. You forget that cameras are everywhere. You forget that loyalty has a price tag. You forget that your worst moment might be one battery click away from exposure. Success doesn't collapse overnight, it erodes. And before the video dropped like a nuclear bombshell, there were tremors, small things, whispers that refused to go silent. Former associates began drifting. Some spoke in interviews with the haunted gaze of people who had seen too much. Lawsuits began stacking like unpaid bar tabs. Allegations popped up. Haters. The standard playbook. And for a while, it worked. When you're Diddy, even the red flags wear Louis Vuitton. But even money can't cover everything. Artists started hinting that the bad boy legacy wasn't all glitz. Some suggested manipulation. Others insinuated coercion, with that eerie pause that says more than any actual sentence. Industry rumors became industry patterns. It wasn't just smoke, it was smog. But still, Diddy danced on, until he didn't. And then, out of nowhere it happened. No teaser, no build-up, just a sudden eruption like Mount Vesuvius on Instagram. An anonymous leak, cryptic at first. A link passed around the entertainment underworld like forbidden fruit. Nobody could tell where it came from. Everyone knew what it meant. The footage was grainy, but clear enough to destroy a reputation. There he was, Sean Combs, caught in a moment no PR agency could ever undo. Not a misquote, not an out-of-context soundbite, but a raw, unfiltered look behind the curtain. He wasn't yelling, he wasn't hitting, he was orchestrating. Calm, cold, calculated. The tape didn't just capture an act, it revealed a mindset, a demeanor far removed from the charming mogul image he'd carefully crafted over decades.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry.
Once the video made it to the public eye, there was no turning back. Overnight, the media went feral. Commentators dissected every frame like the Zapruder film. Former allies went silent. Brand partners ghosted him like a bad Tinder date. Even his fan base fractured. Some denied it, others wept, but most just nodded slowly, connecting the dots they'd ignored for years. The fallout was immediate. The video set off a chain reaction no one could contain. Sponsors dropped him faster than you can say contract clause. Ciroc distanced. Fashion lines frozen. Networks quietly deleted footage, scrubbed credits, and buried collaborations like mafia evidence. Diddy was no longer a mogul, he was a liability. His legal team released a statement, then another, then a third, each one more desperate than the last. The tone shifted from denial to deflection to pure panic. Court dates began appearing on the calendar like recurring nightmares. Old accusations found new life. Former associates lawyered up, and the lawsuits started rolling in like rush hour traffic. Even the talk show circuit turned savage. Once hailed as a cultural icon, Diddy became the punchline. Daytime hosts giggled through their monologues. Late night comedians went for blood. The secret video that changed everything became the internet's favorite true crime episode, complete with think pieces, reaction videos, and TikToks with ominous violin music. But the most devastating impact wasn't legal, it was cultural. Diddy had sold an image, a dream, the self-made black mogul who rose from Harlem to billionaire status. That narrative shattered like cheap glass. Young artists who once idolized him now avoided his name like a hex. His mentorship turned radioactive. Award shows uninvited him. Diddy still has money, still owns assets, but influence? That's a currency he can no longer spend. His calls go unanswered. His invites vanish. His name gets bleeped. The public courtroom might have delivered embarrassment, but the cultural courtroom gave him a life sentence. And in this age, reputation is everything. But the question is, could he bounce back? Technically, yes. America loves a comeback story, but only when the redemption feels earned, and nothing about Diddy's downfall suggests remorse. He hasn't apologized, only pivoted, and the public can smell deflection like cheap cologne.
The world-famous Sean Diddy Combs is expected to be arraigned on federal charges this morning following a grand jury indictment.
Now, right now, the embattled rap mogul is in custody after he was arrested last night in the lobby of a luxury Manhattan hotel.
But most importantly, what's next for Diddy? Maybe a podcast no one listens to, maybe a self-published book titled The Truth Behind the Lies, or maybe just long nights in one of his many mansions, scrolling through old footage of himself on BET and wondering where it all went wrong. The truth? It went wrong when the cameras stopped being a tool and started being a threat, when the ego outgrew the talent, when the secrets outnumbered the songs, and most importantly, when someone finally hit record. And while the case is still up to this day, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with the new Diddy updates, and leave a comment telling us what you think about the whole situation.